Hello, my name is Dr. Brandon Combs, and on behalf of the City of Charleston and as the mayor, I would like to thank you for the opportunity at this time to talk about the Lake Charleston Trails. Our community is so pleased to have these scenic Lake Charleston Trails and even more thrilled with the public's reaction towards this project. These trails are exactly what we needed to help come together as a community. So, why did Charleston need these lake trails? I can sum that up in one word: community. The Lake Charleston Trail systems lets users be one with nature in a peaceful, fun way, and allows people to feel good about themselves and about their neighbors. Nature trails shape friendships and enhance civic pride. By offering these amenities, this project has fostered the community's project and built onto the city's outdoor recreational activities for all to use and enjoy. The trail systems make it easier for people to incorporate exercise into their daily routines, giving people all the skills and abilities and options to be as active as they need to be. These opportunities allow people to improve both their mental and physical health. But most importantly, these trails allow our community to build relationships, meet new friends, and share our experiences with each other. These trails allow the city to highlight the value of our community and provide a sense of community pride to its residents. The partnership that formed between the community groups and the city has led to the development of 9 miles of trails around Lake Charleston, which winds its way through an amazing ecosystem and terrain around Lake Charleston.
For years, Lake Charleston and its surrounding woods hid in plain sight. Glacier-cut ravines with expansive views went mostly unseen, bird calls unheard, and outdoor recreation unrealized. In 2014, a small public-private partnership between the City of Charleston and local trail advocates formed, then blossomed, tackling a project grand in both scope and ambition. Within a few short years, trails with many uses for many users, built by Charleston residents for Charleston residents, would become a beloved feature of the community. Trails, of course, don't build themselves. The design, the layout, the proving of concept, and the maintenance all take time and specialized tools and skills. Every trail is a different puzzle, each trail unique. There was no template or simple plan to design the trails at the lake. Undaunted, the early volunteer crew, who lacked both the tools and the skills to do what they wanted to do, did as one does in these situations. They reached out for help.
Several years ago, we were approached to partner with the city building trails around Lake Charleston, an opportunity that many of us had dreamed of and would soon turn into an idea brought to execution. Local mountain bikers partnered with the City of Charleston employees, specifically those in the Public Works Department, to create a single-track trail. We reached out to the United States Forest Service, we reached out to the International Mountain Bike Association, to the Department of Interior, to online forums. We bought books, and together we educated ourselves and built sustainable, purpose-built, purpose-driven, state-of-the-art trails around Lake Charleston. These trails were designed for multi-use. By that I mean hiking and biking and birding. Great steps were taken to ensure both the sustainability of the trail bed itself and the sustainability of the user group. Clear sight lines were established, grade reversals to ensure minimum maintenance in the future. Sight lines for maximum beauty were all established. Resources, both financial and social capital, were developed and deployed to the lake to create what soon became a gem for our community. A volunteer base that soon encompassed EIU students, the local bikers, the local hikers, local foundations, graduate students from Fish and Wildlife, Boy Scouts, all contributed, all rolled up their sleeves, all worked towards the common goal of creating exemplary, state-of-the-art trails around Lake Charleston. Our trails became a point of pride. It was a place where people met one another, where friendships were formed, where alliances were forged, and where pride in our civic community was established. Where originally a small group of volunteers were creating single track, the project blossomed and demand started to increase and outpace supply. We needed two things, and that was an increase in manpower and an increase in financial resources. To that end, we achieved both goals. a key partnership was formed with the Charleston Area Charitable Foundation, who very graciously, generously, and consistently supported our projects financially, proving themselves to be absolute local heroes. We were able to make substantial capital improvements around the lake without levying a tax, without touching the general fund. In other words, creating the exemplar of a public-private partnership. Charleston Area Charitable Trust has proved themselves to be absolutely immeasurable and indispensable in every step of this project. They've been more than our cheerleaders, they've been gracious benefactors, and their generosity will be reflected and appreciated for generations to come.
What we look for is things that get community involvement. Where can we bring, what can we help build that the community is going to come to, that's going to be an attraction, that's going to be something that's going to provide recreational. I mean, the basic part of our mission statement. What can we do to improve the Charleston area, the environment, the economic structure, those types of things?
During the time I spent in office, I heard a lot of concern and I saw the need for recreational opportunities, both for our residents and for the students at Eastern. And I think the lake trails provide one of those opportunities and enhance those. One of the things that the charitable does is we look for projects that may not happen without our assistance. And this is one that clearly would not be at the level it is today and have the level of finish that the city has provided without the funding from charitable. Many of the trails out there were small bike trails and very small walking trails. Since the city had the additional funding to widen those trails, to make some of them ADA accessible, provide a safe place for folks of all ages to exercise, it really helps fill one of those concerns that I heard when I was in office, which was what is there to do in Charleston?
These trail improvements allowed the city to think outside the municipal box by expanding additional tourism efforts, which have led to offering new cultural, natural, historical, and recreational elements that the city was desperately lacking. The city realized that by expanding our outdoor recreation amenities, the return will benefit our local economy by offering additional tourism options and enhanced public improvements. We also knew we had to change the narrative from uncertainty to one of a new vision of optimism and positivity. This Lake Charleston Trail project was the answer.
We love it for hiking, biking, just getting out and enjoying nature. We get out here and like I said, it's great for family time, it's great for fitness, and you know, we feel real fortunate to have it. Big kudos to the City of Charleston, Bike and Hike, and all the volunteers that help out. It's great to be able to use this natural resource we have. You're going to see ever-changing trails. I mean, they've done a lot just in the last couple of years. They continue to improve them, and they really have it for all skill levels. I mean, I see young children out here, I see elderly, and all in between. They've got trails that are for beginners, and then they've got fingers off that for advanced, so it's really great for anybody involved. It's bigger than just, you know, families like us getting to use it. I see people coming here as a destination point. You know, I see bike riders that come down from Danville. I met a guy a couple weeks ago that came from Bloomington, Indiana. So, you know, it's neat. And, you know, the more and more the EIU students know that it's available, I think it'll help our university.
We're out just enjoying nature. We usually come out here, what, two, three times a week.
With our running group that we have. We've been hitting the trails for about a year now. We come out here just to clear our head and just enjoy some fellowship.
Where we thought we had nowhere to go, now we have a lot to do. Like, you know, the canoeing, the fishing.
Constantly exploring new things.
Riding your bikes on the trail, running, hiking, walking, anybody can do it. It's really nice. We brought our families out here. It's an adventure to bring like my husband and my son. And
it's really for all fitness levels. I have kids that are 9 and 12 and getting them active and just setting a good example and making it fun. Showing them that activity could be fun and just a fun way to explore.
Our close proximity to Eastern Illinois University has allowed two key developments to happen. The students were able to come in and out of the trails, providing another source of recreational opportunity. People frequently say that people with PhDs are moving to Portland to flip burgers because there's nothing to do. There is something to do now for the outdoors-minded students, whether they're in a class, whether they're doing field research via geography or GIS, they're able to come to the trails, and they're also able to participate. They're also able to become part of the volunteer base. And to that extent, Jumpstart, which is a grand volunteer program at Eastern, has sent out dozens, if not scores, of student volunteers who together have put together hundreds of hours helping do granular work at the trail level. Digging trails, cleaning trails, helping with flagging. Additionally, graduate students, specifically fish biologists, have come out in small teams, and we've been able to train them and create an intellectual architecture where the graduate students are training other graduate students in a slightly more skilled fashion. And by that I mean they're able to work on the trail bed construction themselves, doing outslopes, doing grade reversals, handling tools.
We are wanting our students to give back and to understand that they have the power to make a difference in our community while they're calling Charleston home, while they're going to school. But we also want to connect them with different resources. And so whether it's a resource that they need or a resource of the community. And so one of our favorite places to send students is to the new trails at Lake Charleston. And we're really excited to have them see that that is something in our community so that they can go and enjoy it later with their friends. We got involved with the Lake Charleston Trails because we knew that it was going to be a great asset for our community, and that it was brought and created by people in the community who wanted to be able to have something as incredible as those trails here. You know, we are a small rural town, but the lake is gorgeous, and we have a community that wants to be active and healthy and go and enjoy something like the trails at Lake Charleston. So we wanted to be able to help have our students support those trails when they were actually being built, and then help keep them clean and usable for everybody, whether they're connected to campus or not.
Before the improvements were made to the trail system, most of the Eastern Illinois University community had no idea these trails even existed. But now, the Lake Charleston Trails are a well-known destination, and you'll find members of our EIU family enjoying the trails every single day. And it's not just us who have discovered the beauty of the trails. It has become a draw for residents across central Illinois and beyond. The trail system has been a catalyst for developing new friendships and contacts between the town's full-time residents and the Eastern Illinois University community. In fact, the relationship between the City of Charleston and EIU has never been better. The university has also gained a wonderful resource for university-related activities. During the fall, EIU and the City of Charleston hosts a Take the Lake event, which introduces our new incoming students to the beauty and recreational opportunities that exist with Lake Charleston and the trail system. Our cross-country athletes definitely put the trails to good use, as does our Army ROTC battalion. And during EIU's Parents Weekend and homecoming, our out-of-town guests love to walk the trails when they visit.
We're here to see Jason. He's in his first year in an apartment, so we wanted to come and visit him and celebrate the family weekend with him.
Excellent. And what brings you to the trails?
It was a beautiful morning. Want to get a little
Grabbed
outdoors.
a little coffee and took a walk.
And you said you wanted to experience the
I need
woods.
woods. Yes, I need woods. And
Me
it's
too.
very nice that Charleston offers this opportunity for families and residents to come visit.
It's beautiful. It's just easily accessible now with the parking here. It looks like there may be some bathrooms and pavilions, and it just makes it easier to come out here. We've come out before, and it's just a little bit more rustic than it will be now, which is nice. It just gives a little bit more access to everybody to come out here.
Me and my friends come out here a lot. We go hammocking up in the woods. We'll walk these trails every once in a while. We like coming out here, you know, in the fall and the winter when the seasons are changing. It's always beautiful out here.
Having such a phenomenal outdoor recreational resource so nearby to our campus is truly awesome. And we at EIU are committed to helping its beauty be maintained. From 2014 to 2016, over 260 EIU student volunteers have dedicated over 600 hours toward various trail improvement projects. And we pledge to continue our volunteer service well into the future.
This is one of the rec electives that recreation administration majors can take. It's a new experience. It's a little bit different than our other classes. It has a lot of practical, hands-on skills that we're learning in this class that we don't really get to do in some of our other classes. It's like the ocean in the middle of Charleston. Well, I've been on the lake trails. I've been around the lake entirely, I think, twice. And the second time I did it, it ended up being a lot quicker than the first time just because I got familiar with the trails. But we're about to go hike the trails today too and go canoeing out on the lake and experience it that way too.
I think first we're gonna mulch all the way back to the trails, and then they asked maybe in the future to team up to stain the fences and stuff like that. And honestly, whatever they need, we'll be more than happy to help in whatever way we can. Just cleaning up, making it look better for families so that they can come out and do bike rides or you know, just see the lake. And it's beautiful back there, so it's just an awesome way that we can team up and help.
Knowing that the biking community has a city support is huge, and it makes it that much easier not just to use the trails, but take pride in them. It's really been remarkable watching the way the city and the volunteers have come together to work. I'm most proud of the community it's created. It's a place where all different types of people with all different interests can come together and have a good time and feel a sense of community. I don't know every single person that I pass on the trails, but people have started to look familiar to me, and every single person waves and says hi, and every single person is having a fun time. And it's just incredible to have that in our community.
The trails built around the lake have allowed Charleston to cement itself and establish itself as a leader in outdoor recreation in downstate Illinois. Because of the trails and because of the authority, the imprimatur of authority that the trails have provided our city, we've been able to establish ourselves as a town, as a community that other organizations not just want to work with, but depend on. To wit, we've had Ride Illinois, a statewide organization, come to town. We've had Grand Prairie Friends, an enormous 501c3, anchor any number of its grant writing opportunities based on the trails that we have here. We have a comprehensive bike plan coming throughout the city, and soon we're going to connect a multimodal bike path from the City of Charleston to Mattoon. Because of the trails, because the trails were the hub of a wheel, a hub of possibility, there will be a day coming soon that you can get on a bicycle in the Miracle Mile in Chicago, hop on a train, come down to Mattoon, ride your bike to Charleston throughout the City of Charleston and down to Fox Ridge State Park, providing a singular experience in the state of Illinois. An experience that's made possible because the City of Charleston believed in the opportunities of trails, believed in the execution of trails, and believed in an idea that the community could do what it should do, and it did what it did.
About a couple weeks ago, when I was speaking at the freshman convocation for all the incoming students at Eastern Illinois University, I gave a shout out about the trails. And during that speech, when I came to the part about how amazing these trails were, and I encouraged all the the new incoming students to use them, the faculty and staff stood up and started clapping. So that tells you right there just how important this actually is to our community. When giving a speech like that to all the incoming freshmen, people will actually stand up and clap for all the efforts that have been done. All the volunteers, the time that comes into this, it's just absolutely amazing. And my hats are off to all the different people that come out here that want to pick up trash or want to take care of these trails on their own. All the people that take pride in this and talk about it and spread the word. All the city volunteers that are taking time out of their everyday schedules off the clock to come out here to make sure that this is something that our community can use. It has been just phenomenal to see how much our community actually cares and how different people from all different walks of life can get together and come out here to make this happen and make this even better for our community.
What do you enjoy about Lake Charleston, William?
Everything. They've done some real good work down there. It's enjoyable to walk. If you're not 80 years old like me, you enjoy it more. You see a lot of people, interested people on there. I think 2 weeks ago we walked it. We met people from Olney. It was walking it. You know, people are driving clear up here to walk these trails around this lake.
Now, each weekend sees hundreds of trail users. Bikers and hikers, young and old, EIU and townsfolk alike use and love the trail system. Group mountain bike rides are a weekly occurrence. A hiking group has formed, and the Facebook page, once reserved for calls for volunteers, has become a community unto itself. The volunteers continue to work and to clean, and with every season, more and more folks do their part. The Lake Charleston Trails have become a point of civic pride. Each weekend brings another story of a new user, a new hiker, and today's new hiker will turn into tomorrow's conservationist at Lake Charleston. The lake trails, in short, have been folded into the fabric of the community. Mountain bikers and hikers, conservationists and birders all flock to the trail. Former residents return and admire. Students and faculty from WEIU work and study and play there. The Army ROTC trains there. A science festival has been hosted. Friendships formed and forged. There even was a wedding at the Lake Charleston Trails. The community embrace is complete. A trailhead, the most visible in Charleston, is now home to a sculpture garden. Major pieces of art, donated by professors emeritus, greet the hikers and bikers and birders as they head out into the woods on trails built by them, for them. It seems perfectly fitting that Lake Charleston and its trails and environs, such a setting of natural beauty, should now be home to works of man-made public art. No longer is Lake Charleston and its surrounding woods hiding in plain sight. It is a glorious display for all to see and enjoy.